Welcome to the REMC 5 Moodle training videos. In this video, we're going to look at how you set up your topics and get ready to start putting content into your course. I'm going to start by turning my editing on. And you'll notice when I do that, I have in the top of each topic, I have a little section where I can put a summary or a heading in for that topic. So it's a good idea to know going in what your topics are going to be labeled as. Now you're not set in stone on these, you can always go back and make changes, but it is a good idea to kind of have an idea of the basic structure of what your topics are going to include and what they're going to be called. So to put a heading in, I'm going to click the little edit summary icon. And then what I can do is I can type in the summary box what I want this to be called. I'm going to call this one Getting Started. And you'll notice that I can't type anything in that section name. So we'll talk about what that is all about in just a second. Whatever I type in this Getting Started section, I can use my text editor and I can do any kind of changes to this that I might want. I can change the font color, I could change the font size, etc. So whatever I put in this box, including maybe additional information that I might want to include, will go in that box. I'll click Save Changes, and then you'll see that as the heading of my topic. So in the next section, I'm going to go ahead and go back to that window. This time I'm going to uncheck the Use Default Section Name, and that will allow me to type in a section name, and this I can't change. So whatever I type in here will show up, and Moodle will sort of bold it so it stands out a little bit. And I could also type info in this box, and then let's look at the difference between the two topics that we have now. So you'll notice that when I typed in that section name, it doesn't give me much option, but one thing that people will like to do with that is if they're more consistent then. So if you put all your topic names in that section header box, you'll notice that they all look the same and there's no chance of kind of having it look inconsistent and not very professional. So once I have my topics in, there are a few options I have also. You'll notice the first one is to only show up one particular topic at a time, and this is a user setting. So if I'm working on topic number 2 and I only want to be viewing that instead of having to scroll down my list of topics to get to the information, if I click that box to show only topic 2, it will only show that topic. So this is a user preference setting. This does not change what the students are going to see. When the students log in, they will see all the topics, and if they choose to select only to look at one topic at a time, that will be a user preference setting for them. So I will go ahead and turn that back to showing all my topics. And then we're going to talk about the eyeball. The eyeball means to show or hide something in Moodle. So for example, if I was working on this topic but I didn't want the students to have access to the information yet, I would go ahead and close that eyeball and it would hide it for me. To me, it shows up with the eyeball closed, and I can still go in here and do anything that I would want to do. But if I go over and switch my role to view it as a student would see, you'll notice that it just says that that information is not available. So it's still there, it's just not available to the student. So I'm going to go ahead and return to my normal role, and I'll turn my editing back on. The other option you have is to highlight a particular section. I'm going to go ahead and make that topic visible once again. And if I'm working on a particular topic, maybe for a few days or a week or whatever the case may be, I might choose as the instructor to highlight that particular section by clicking on this light bulb. And what that does is it sort of makes it stand out a little bit by shading in around the border of that topic. So again, I will go to my student view to see what it looks like for them. And you'll notice that it does sort of make that one stand out. So this can be kind of useful if you have several topics and you just want to make the one that you're working on at a particular time stand out. So I'll go ahead and switch back to my normal role, turn my editing on, and the last thing to note is that you can move topics around once you've created them and once you've got content inside of them. The arrows allow you to do that. So if you want to move a topic up or down, you just click the up or down arrow and it will move one place at a time. So I'm going to move my red Getting Started topic down one, and you'll notice that that did move down one. And then if I want to move it down another one, I have to click it again. So that process can be a little bit tedious, but just kind of a little preview. In upcoming versions of Moodle, it's not going to be that way. It will be much easier to move your topics around. So that's how you get the basic structure of your topic set up and just a little bit about managing your topics. And we're ready to start adding content, which we will address in future videos.